Hello and I welcome you all to the fourth video on our Placement Connect YouTube channel. This is a very special video made for the sake of the UPSC aspirants, and by the end of this video, if you are an UPSC aspirant, you will get the in-depth briefing analysis of each and every topic that is there under the second phase of UPSC preparation, that is the UPSC mains. So first things first, what you can actually get from this video is, if you're a UPSC aspirant and you're wondering what exactly that you need to pick from a newspaper, say for example Hindu or an Indian Express, you will be able to pick up the exact precise content from that newspaper, and it will save you a lot of time in your preparation phase. So by the end of this video, make a note of all the topics that are there from GS1 to GS4. So there are exactly total of 59 concepts. So let's begin. First things first, Indian heritage and culture, history and geography of the world and society. Indian culture will cover the salient aspects of art forms, literature and architecture from ancient to modern times, and modern Indian history from about the middle of the 18th century until the present, significant events, personalities and issues, the freedom struggle, its various stages and important contributors by contributions from different parts of the country, post-independence consolidation and reorganization within the country. History of the world will include events from the 18th century such as the Industrial Revolution, World Wars, withdrawal of national boundaries, colonization, decolonization, political philosophies like communism, capitalism, socialism, etc., their forms and effects on the society, salient features of Indian society and diversity of India, role of women and women's organization, population and associated issues, poverty and developmental issues, urbanization, their problems and their remedies, effects of globalization on the Indian society, social empowerment, communalism, regionalism and secularism, salient features of the world's physical geography, distribution of key natural resources across the world including South Asia and the Indian subcontinent, factors responsible for the location of primary, secondary and tertiary sector industries in various parts of the world, important geographical phenomena such as earthquake, tsunami, volcanic activity and cyclone, etc., geographical features and their location changes in critical geographical features including water bodies and ice caps, and in flora and fauna and the effects of such changes. General Studies section, governance, constitution, polity, social justice and international relations, and under that, Indian Constitution, historical underpinnings, evolution, features, amendments, significant provisions and basic structure, functions and responsibilities of the Union and the states, issues and challenges pertaining to the federal structure, devolution of powers and finances up to local levels and challenges therein, separation of powers between various organs, dispute redressal mechanisms and institutions, comparison of the Indian constitutional scheme with that of other countries, Parliament and state legislatures, structure, functioning, conduct of business, powers and privileges and issues arising out of this, structure, organization and functioning of the executive and the judiciary, ministries and departments of the government, pressure groups and formal and informal associations and their role in the polity, salient features of the Representation of the People's Act and appointment to various constitutional posts, powers, functions and responsibilities of various constitutional bodies, statutory, regulatory and various quasi-judicial bodies, government policies and interventions for development of various sectors and issues arising out of their design and implementations, development processes and the development industry like role of NGOs, SHGs, various groups and associations, donors and characteristics and institutional and other stakeholders, welfare schemes for the vulnerable sections of the society and the populations and center and states, and the performance of these schemes, mechanisms, laws, institutions and bodies constituted for the protection and betterment of these vulnerable sections. So issues relating to development and management of social sector bus services, relating to health, education and human resources, issues relating to poverty and hunger, important aspects of governance, transparency and accountability, e-governance applications, model success, limitations and potentials, citizen charters, transparency and accountability and institutional and other issues, role of civil services in a democracy, India and its neighborhood relations, bilateral, regional and global groupings and agreements involving India and or affecting the India's interests, effect of policies and politics of developed and developing countries on India's interests and Indian diaspora, important international institutions, agencies and for their structure and mandate. So this was about paper 2. It had a total of 20 topics, while paper 1 had a total of 12 topics. Clubbing it on the whole, you will be having a GS1 plus GS2 combined on the whole 32 topics. Deal with technology, economic development, biodiversity, environment, security and disaster management, Indian economy and issues relating to planning, mobilization of resources, growth and development of employment, so inclusive growth and issues arising from it, government budgeting, major crops, cropping patterns in various parts of the country, different types of irrigation and irrigation systems, storage, transport and marketing of agricultural produce and issues and related constraints, e-technology in the aid of farmers. So issues related to direct and indirect farm subsidies and minimum support prices and public distribution systems, objectives, functions, limitations and revamping. Issues of buffer stocks and food security, technology machines, economics of animal rearing, food processing and related industries in India, scope and significance, location, upstream and downstream requirements and supply chain management. So land reforms in India, effects of liberalization on the economy and changes in industrial policy and their effects on industrial growth, infrastructure, energy, ports, roads, airports and railways, investment models, science and technology, developments and their applications and effects in everyday life, achievements of Indians in science and technology and indigenization of technology and developing new technology, awareness in the field of IT space, computers, robotics, nanotechnology, biotechnology and issues relating to intellectual property rights, conservation, environmental pollution and degradation, environmental impact assessment, disaster and disaster management, linkages between development and spread of extremism, role of external state and non-state actors in creating challenges to internal security, challenges to internal security through communication networks, role of media and social networks, sites in internal security challenges, basics of cyber security, money laundering and its prevention, security challenges and their management in border areas, linkages of organized crime with terrorism and various security forces and agencies and their mandate. So this was about paper 3. It had a total of 19 topics. So clubbing GS 1, 2 and 3, you'll be having a total of 51 topics in general. That is 12 from GS 1, 20 from GS 2 and 19 from GS 3. That is the GS 4. We have ethics, integrity and aptitude. Ethics and human interface, essence, determinants, consequences of ethics in human actions, dimensions of ethics, ethics in private and public relationships, human values, lessons from the lives and teachings of great leaders, reformers and administrators. Role of family, society and educational institutions in inculcating these values. Attitude, that is content, structure, function, its influence and relation with thought and behavior, moral and political attitude, social influence and persuasion. Aptitude and fundamental values for civil service, integrity, impartiality and non-partisanship, objectivity, dedication to public service, empathy, tolerance and compassion towards the weaker sections. Emotional intelligence, concepts and their utilities and applications in public administration and governance. Contributions of moral thinkers and philosophers from India and around the world. Public civil services, values and ethics in public administration and status and their problems. Ethical concerns and dilemmas in government and private institutions, laws, rules, regulations and conscience as a source of ethical guidance. Accountability and ethical governance, strengthening of ethical and moral values in governance, ethical issues in international relations and funding, and there is corporate governance. Probity in governance, concept of public service, philosophical basis of governance and probity, information sharing and transparency in government, right to information, codes of ethics, codes of conduct, citizens' charters, work culture, quality of service delivery, utilization of public funds, and challenges of corruption. Case studies on all the above issues. So this was about General Studies paper 4, that is the GS paper 4. It had a total of 8 topics. So this was all about the 59 topics which were there under the UPSC main syllabus. So if you have any feedbacks and queries, please feel free to mail to us at placecon20@gmail.com. And thank you so much for watching. Please do like, share and please do subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so that you can get constant notifications and so that you don't miss out on any of the very new and special videos from us that will be helpful to a lot of aspirants over there. So please do subscribe.